Welcome to NuttieBuddie Entertainment.
Ugly. Your first ugly, if you have one.
I only have one ugly, Ryan.
Probably the same one I have.
Is it about Jar Jar?
Oh, no, it's not.
Okay. Mine is just, I don't mind Palpatine controlling everything, but Jar Jar does not need to be involved and get promoted to be the leader of Naboo, representing the Senate or whatever, however that works for them. But it was just stupid that he was able to convince everybody to put Palpatine in charge, or give him emergency powers. I just saw it's like, come on, Jar Jar, who we already talked about was so clumsy in episode 1, apparently is so fluent in words he can convince everybody in this episode. Use somebody else, basically.
Yeah. Fair point. Chris?
Yeah, I had that written down as ugly too. I mean, obviously, like the Senate scene itself was kind of dumb, but the scene before that, where Palpatine and his like advisor or whatever is like, if only Senator Amidala were here, she would know what to do. It was just like really so like ham-handed, and then there's like a pause, and then it cuts to Jar Jar like, I don't know. That was a really bad scene.
I think that George Lucas was just trolling us all because basically Jar Jar just brought down the entire Jedi Order with that one scene.
It had to be a joke, right?
It had to be.
Or Darth Jar Jar. I'm sure you guys heard the speculations that he could have been working for Palpatine the whole time. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brian, you got your first ugly?
Yeah. My first ugly is Dex's Diner.
Okay.
I absolutely hated that scene. It was so out of place. I don't mind a futuristic diner scene, but it didn't feel very Star Wars, as well as it just felt out of place. And then Dex looked like he was in the witness protection program with that mustache, like straight up. We get like a cool Basilisk, which is the creature that he is in like the Clone Wars with General Pontrell.
Yes.
And yeah, he was awesome. But yeah, this just version of that was just like, I did not like it.
Kind of just seemed out of place. I would, for the movie, like, yeah, it was.
Yeah, just go to like a seedy underground, would have made a lot more sense than a diner where you got Jawa juice. So
that's fair. That's fair. Let's see, Luke, you got your first ugly?
So there's a bad thing from this ugly that goes with all of it, but the ugly would be more how absolutely stupid the Jedi Council is with Anakin and Padme, just letting him run off and do whatever with if you were going to make a movie in which you show how Anakin's feelings for this woman are going to lead to his downfall, could you not come up with a better reason to put them together where it's like, hey, a bunch of things were happening and he ended up being the one who has to be with her. Instead, they're like, we have an assignment for you. We're going to put you in the most ridiculous position we possibly can with your master knowing you have feelings for this person. And we'll see what happens. We'll just see. Who knows? Who knows? Don't form attachments. You know that. But it's so ridiculous that's what they came up with. Because, I mean, give me 5 minutes. I can come up with a better reason to stick the two of them next to each other for the whole movie. Like, come on. Come on. So that's not good. And then that just plays through the entire thing. He jumps down in the Battle of Geonosis and kisses her quick before. Like, they could get shot right there. Like, come on. Come on.
Well, it's in front of Obi-Wan's, and, like, they don't bring that up again. So...
you're
sort of
trying
do.
to keep this behind, like no one, you don't want anyone to see this. It's literally, there are people everywhere. Like that's, come on. So that's not good. And then she gets knocked off of the hangar. What do you call the ship that they're flying after?
Carrier.
She gets knocked off the carrier,
ship.
and he's like, put the ship down now. He's freaking out. He's just freaking out. Padme rolling around on the ground. Oh no. As soon as the clone guy gets over to her, he's like, ma'am, are you okay? Uh-huh. All right, gather all your troops. Get over to this. It's like, wait a minute. Were you not just like almost dead? How come? Were you waiting for someone to come and get you? Like, it doesn't, that was whatever. But it's more, and then even at the end of the movie, literally at the end of the movie, they're like, where's your Padawan? Oh, he's escorting the senator back to Naboo.
There you go.
Just them two. They're gonna go off and just the two of them. It's like, okay, hold on.
Yeah, I had problems with that.
He literally just freaked out about her falling out. Like he's clearly not. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they acted. They could not be any. It was the dumbest way to possibly portray how the Jedi Council looked at just, there's no way he would have any sort of attachment to her after this whole experience, especially. It's just, yeah.
That's 100% fair. I'll just get into my ugly because it has to do with Anakin and Padme. Anyway, the romance, the dialogue, it was all bad to me. When they decided that they were not going to pursue a relationship, did you guys notice? And I told you guys to look out for this, that every situation after was more romantic and she wore more skimpier outfits every single time. It's like, if you're not gonna like pursue anything, maybe you shouldn't be leading each other on. You know?
She's the worst tease in like cinema history.
100%.
I liked their scene, not to, just before you get started, I did like their scene when they were taking the public transport. I thought that was the most, I thought that actually was well done. So you say everything with the romance. I agree with most everything, but there were bits and pieces that I didn't mind. And I thought that made sense as far as, that was like the only time that he came across as a normal dude that I could be like, oh, I can see how she kind of thinks he's all that or whatever, is into that. But the rest of the time, he's just creepy and weird. But I like that scene.
Yeah, we weren't complaining about our outfits, just so you know.
Okay. So along with that, I have a couple dialogues here. I actually wrote them all down, and then I realized I could have just copied and pasted them from the internet. And I was like, well, that was stupid of me. So here's a couple of things that were exchanges between them. I don't remember where this one was. It says, "You're exactly the way I remember you in my dreams." That's something he really said to her, like when they first met. Go ahead, Brian.
That was literally the first line he said to her when he reintroduced himself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be pedantic here. First, she says, "Annie, my, how you've grown," and he says, "You've grown also." Well, only more beautiful, I mean. And then later,
a senator.
He says, yeah. Then later on, he says the
best pickup line ever.
But I had to be accurate here.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it goes on to that. This is already was mentioned. Please don't look at me that way. Why not? Because it makes me feel uncomfortable. Sorry, my lady. That pervy look.
Yeah, that line right there is literally how we felt about this entire situation throughout the movie. So
that's fair. Here's another one. From the moment I met you all those years ago, not a day has gone by when I haven't thought of you. And now that I'm with you again, I'm in agony. The closer I get to you, the worse it gets. The thought of not being with you, I can't breathe. I'm haunted by the kiss that you shouldn't have ever given me.
My heart never given me. Correct. I remember that one.
My heart is beating, hoping that kiss will not become a scar. You are my very soul, or you are in my very soul, tormenting me. What can I do? I will do anything you ask. Uncomfortable pause. I thought that was appropriate.
You didn't say I can't breathe. It's like, I can't breathe.
Yeah, I meant to say, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to skip that. And then that's where they get into the point like, oh, we can't do this because we're going to destroy one another, but we're going to continue to hang out with each other and put ourselves in romantic situations. Here's another one.
Is that the fireplace scene, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the worst for me. That one.
Yeah, that was awful. Here's another one. When we used to come here for school retreats, we would swim to the island every day. I love the water. We used to lie out on the sand and let the sun dry us and try to guess the names of the birds singing. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets in everywhere. Not like you. You're everything.
That was pretty, you gotta. That was
everything is soft and smooth, and then he like touches her skin.
Yeah, that was
smooth. That was well done on his part. Also, I have to cut in here, Ryan, because they asked him. He like disappeared off the map after episode 3, like as far as the media stuff goes, because he couldn't take it. And then he randomly showed up around the Star Wars celebration in Chicago. How many years ago that was now? And like he went to that, and they asked him, the girl from the Star Wars TV show, Andy Gutierrez, she goes, how do you feel about, I have to ask this. She's like, how do you feel about sand? And he starts laughing and he says, like, here's the thing though, the sand thing always made sense to me, because here's this kid, he grew up on Tatooine, and he always tied sand to being a slave, and him and his mother trying to fight and scrap for everything they ever had. So of course he hates it. That's all he saw. So
I'm not saying that
negative feelings about it. And I thought that's a really smart answer, Hayden Christensen. Sounds like you should have written your own dialogue.
That's the point. The dialogue. He could have been like, I hate sand because it reminds me of Tatooine. That's what he could have said. Like, it doesn't have to.
And then he turned it into getting a touch in there. I told you, he's learning from the pickup artists.
And then the last one I'll mention, don't be afraid. I'm not afraid of dying. I've been dying a little each day since you've come back in my life. Anyway.
Chris liked that.
One other thing about that, the rolling in the grass was 4 rolls too many.
Yes. I'm glad you said that.
Too many rolls.
Because that was the most egregious one to me, was literally rolling in the grass.
Oh.
Even my wife was like, wow, what is going on here? That was great.
Okay, so that was my ugly. I just like, man, that was just awful. I don't know what to say anymore about that. Any other uglies, guys? Thanks for watching this clip of our movie review for Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. If you'd like to listen to more of our thoughts with the great, the good, the bad, and the ugly, go ahead and look at the description below. There'll be links to the podcast, and you can go to the podcast feed to find other reviews of TVs, shows, and movies that we have done. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, follow me on Instagram at NuttieBuddie_entertainment when I drop podcasts. And that's all I got for you. Thanks so much again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will talk to you guys soon.